The second thing about the rules of business being masculine is that sometimes we need to draw that line in the sand. When I went to Potash, I had been working at Xerox, and I had been a territory salesperson here in Saskatoon, working with the head office in Toronto. And I knew that if I wanted to get things done, I had to look things up in the sales manual to figure out where the equipment was and who I needed to talk to in head office. And when I came to Potash, we had a number of mines that the company had been put together by buying mines from different companies. And the salespeople came with those mines, and they all had a very different opinion about how to deal with head office. So I said, you know, I have experience with the sales manual. Why don't I put one together to help bring everybody in the sales team together? And everyone said, oh, that's a great idea. And I thought, good, I'm going to make my mark. I've got a project where I can shine. And I worked like a dog on that sales manual. I called all the salesmen, I asked them what their problems were, I figured out how the system should work and wrote it all up in a manual, and I had a prototype. And I was very proud of that prototype, and I marched down to the president of sales office, and I put it on his desk. And I said, you know, I'd be happy to make any small tweaks that you'd like to give me before I present it at the sales meeting. And he said, oh, by the way, you won't be going to that meeting. I said, what? And he said, no, you need to take the manual down and put it on Joe Blow's desk, because this is one of my peers. He'll be presenting the manual. And I was like, this is my project. He doesn't know this project. He doesn't understand it. I can explain it. No, he said, there'll be a lot of swearing at the sales meeting. And I said, you don't need to protect me. I grew up in a small town hotel. Believe me, I've heard it before. And he said, no, it's not you. These salesmen, they need to come and blow off steam a little bit. And, you know, that means there'll be a lot of swearing. And if you're there, they won't be comfortable. And it's not appropriate. Well, I told him in fairly explicit terms that I expected to be at that meeting. I wanted him to know that I could dish it out and I could take it. And I left his office and I marched down. We had 3 vice presidents of sales. I went into each of their offices and I said, that's my project. I expect to be there. I drew a line in the sand. I wanted them to know that I was going to be included in that meeting, and I'll tell you I was, and I was never excluded from a meeting again. So sometimes we need to understand that our socialization can get in the way, and sometimes we need to make it very clear that we understand the game and how the rules go and that we can play as well.